think about?
Thank you. So currently, we are working with family home funds and help to own on our project in Karu, which is 1,400 houses. We got financing from Shelter Afrique and a guarantee from InfraCredit. They came in a timely manner to say they will provide financing based on the terms that she has already said, very, very affordable. So that has really been a game changer for us. It has brought down the barrier to entry for a lot of the customers that otherwise not have been able to buy these houses. Because the challenge, some of the things that my sister Sadia has said, is that I begin to talk to an agency, say in December 2022, to come and buy houses at 20 million. And our mortgages don't come out, whether PMI, whether commercial bank, whether FMBN, even though I can build in 6 months because I have funding from Shelter Afrique. I'm having to wait almost 2 years for the mortgage process to be concluded. And I cannot go back to those same guys and say that, no, you have to pay 25 million now. Because if they want to pay 25 million, their income does not allow them to pay 25 million because it is simply out of their reach. So we need to look at how PMIs can actually streamline the process such that home ownership can be as easy as possible. Once somebody is working, he can provide his, the developer has a lot of documentation on his side. That's title and all those things are taken care of. But once the individual can go onto a portal and provide these documents, it should be something that is over within 6 weeks. So I can borrow money in 6 months, deliver that house, and do the same over 1 year, thereby reducing my own interest rate. Because we're talking of innovation, financial engineering. So if I borrow at 40% and I'm able to build using that same money 3 times in a year, it means that I'm bringing down my effective interest rate very, very low. So we need everybody to be on board. We have done something in the past with Sterling Bank, the non-interest, the alternative bank, whereby, because it's an Islamic bank, they are allowed to trade. When we came to them, we said, okay, we have off-takers. Because at the end of the day, even if I have financing and I don't have off-takers, they can't buy these houses through mortgage. I'm wasting my time. So I always start from the off-takers. I came to Sterling Bank and said, okay, these are NDIC staff at that time and some CBN staff. They are A-list, so you don't have any risk. They want to borrow money to buy houses from us. I want you to finance them without equity contribution. What I will do, instead of you to charge them 20% per annum, I, as the developer, am willing to give up 8% of the price of my house, right, upfront, so that goes to your P&L, and that allows you to give them this funding at 12% over the period of my construction, which is 24 months. At the end of 24 months, they are able to now draw their NHF to liquidate that facility. What have I done as a developer is that I borrowed money at 8%, which is the cheapest I can find even at FMBN, right? And they are able to give me to build off-plan because they have the title and they have the off-takers. So some of these things, we have to have the developer at the table in the beginning. What happens now is Mansoura comes to me that I have help to own. So we have to do the pilot, learn the mistakes, then she goes back. And even when she goes back, I'm not present when she's meeting the PMIs. I'm not present when she's talking to our development partners. So it is only at the end that the developer comes in and is asked to bring down the price. Meanwhile, there's no miracle you can do to change the price of cement or the cost of land or ultimately the cost of infrastructure, which is the major problem. And then by the time we're also adding the costs, right? The cost of borrowing, I go to borrow, I say 20%. And then the bank is also giving the off-taker another loan, 20%. So by the time you add the costs, we have to find a way whereby it will be a silver bullet. This money is one money. Let us channel it through the mortgage, which is coming back to the point of off-plan financing. Because right now the house must be standing and it must be ready. Once you see a house standing and ready, somebody will have paid for it. So there's high interest rate already on that house. So the price of the house, the off-taker is paying twice. He's paying my interest rate as developer. He's paying his own interest rate as off-taker. So we have to find mechanisms. And the only way we can do that is if all of us are on the table. And what comfort can we give for the money you are giving us? Because obviously that's an issue. There are a lot of trust issues in the industry. We know that. But working with the new leadership of Radan and other stakeholders, I believe that we can come out with ways whereby the safety of funds is going to be guaranteed, and ultimately the off-takers will go home smiling because they are the key people that are the issue here. In fact, I can speak for other developers and say, look, we can take 500,000 per house as profit. As long as when we start, at the end, we know at the end of 12 months that 500,000 is 500,000 or 1 million. We don't need to inflate the price. The problem of inflating the price of the house is that we're hedging. So when you go in, we have a case in January, we collected money from Shelter Africa to build 370 houses. By March, we had a variation of 1.7 billion, just within 3 months, right? They were the ones even calling us that, guys, we can see variation coming, we'll come. Let us, because they are very proactive. Come, let's see how we can augment this so that we can hedge. So if we know that these funds are available from day one upfront and we can quickly hedge and build these houses, even if you say take 500,000 per house, we don't care, because in affordable housing, we're looking at volume, and it is an impact industry, and it's not for every developer. Some developers will never ever do affordable housing because the stress is just too much, right? It is a lot of hassle. It's better for you to do 20 units, sell it at 500 million, and go and smile instead of you to do 1,000 houses and end up with gray hairs and in negative. That's what's happening. So there's no incentive.
Thank you very much. That's very important, like you mentioned. Collaborations, all the stakeholders, we all need to come together to achieve our objectives. The last, my president, I would like to hear his voice again. You raised an issue now. The last speaker mentioned the issue of streamlining processes, and technology becomes very critical in that. So I want to ask my president, what can he tell us about